Good afternoon, everyone. It is May 20th, 2019. I'm Eric. One of the problems with law enforcement and law enforcement supporters is the idea that, or the reality, really, that they hold everyone but themselves and law enforcement to a different standard. And they will do all the mental gymnastics they can to justify both their actions and the actions of law enforcement. I'm here at the Free Thought Project, and here's an example of police breaking the law. Check it out. Truckers face years in prison for transporting legal hemp because of cops just doing their jobs. And that's another thing, is throughout history, horrific shit's been done, and the people justify what they've done by saying, I was just doing my job. We hear that a lot from the law enforcement community, right? But that shit didn't fly for the Germans during Nuremberg, did it? My question is, how come it flies now? What has changed since Nuremberg that has suddenly made it okay to blindly follow orders that they know is completely against the Constitution? Blindly follow laws that they know is completely against their oath. But the federal government, specifically Donald Trump, signs the Agricultural Improvement Act of 2019, legalizing industrial hemp on a national scale. But, the police state dependent is still locking people up in cages for that plant that the federal government has now made legal. And 3 truckers in Ohio are facing down horrific prison sentence for carrying legal hemp. And people will say, good, they were breaking the law. And they were breaking that state's particular law. Certainly, there's got to be something that can be done to get these guys free, since they were transporting a plant that the federal government made legal. Certainly, there's something they can do. But will they? And I guess time will show us whether they will or not. But this is just another example of cops breaking federal law now, right? And busting people who are just making a living. I mean, they've arrested or fined little children for lemonade stands, for crying out loud. Are they really that hard up for money that they got to do that? But I imagine these guys will end up having to pay a few $1,000s a piece, and they'll end up knocking it down to lesser charges. Oh no, this is not true. 2 of them have already been scheduled to be sentenced next month after being found guilty of transporting this plant. See, the jury could have nullified that. That's what I'm talking about when I say some people just are not worth saving. Any jury that would still convict for pot in general, never mind hemp, the people aren't worth a shit. Except for maybe the juror or two who disagreed. So, in one case, police falsely claimed that the nearly 7,000 pounds of hemp in his truck was marijuana. Only after police broke the same law they arrested him for by transporting the plant across state lines for testing did they realize it was actually hemp. Don't you think they should just drop the charges then? I do. I mean, do you know that hemp can be made into hempcrete, and that's far, far more efficient than the concrete we currently use? Just saying. Despite the federal government ending prohibition of the hemp plant last year, backwards police state addicted politicians in states like Idaho continue to kidnap and cage people for it. It's absolutely horrific, said Idaho Representative Elena Rubel, Democrat from Boise, a legislator who is working to get the charges dropped. Good. Somebody needs to be helping them people. I'm not sure I would agree with her her description, but she says it's like a nightmare out of a novel. These are hardworking people working for a trucking company. This is what they do for a living. Take this load from here to there. This is a good that has been legalized federally, right? They are doing what their boss told them to do. And unfortunately, their justification, I'm just doing my job, doesn't work for them like it does, say, any officer, any DSS worker, any IRS agent, or any of the alphabet soup people. It works for them, but, you know, if you're a non-government employee, well, tough shit. That's the nature of our reality. One group of people gets a pass on committing crimes while the others are thrown in jail and sometimes turned into slaves for corporations. Seems legit, right? I mean, it's you know, a legitimate thing. And this is my problem overall with law enforcement and those who support them, is they will break the law and then turn around and arrest somebody for doing the exact same thing they just got done doing, and the people who support them will turn a blind eye to the fact that they commit crimes too. They get a free pass somehow, some way. So anyway, I thought I would share this with you. I hope you all have a great day. And until next time, kill the state, but free.